How is everybody doing? Wow, day 21 of our husband's boot camp, a week left. I can't tell you how much good feedback, Baruch Hashem, we've been getting on this. A couple of wives even reached out to me and told me how it's making a difference. One wife told me, I feel like I have a new husband. So, Baruch Hashem, we're putting in the work and we're doing. This is definitely a worthwhile endeavor. What is day 21? So we're in the middle of Dr. John Gutman's 7 principles of marriage, and I think this is number 6. But yesterday we spoke about solve your solvable problems, and we put in 2 groups. We put a group that is solvable problems. That's 69, literally. I mean, 69% of all problems that arise. Then we spoke about your unsolvable problems, which we said is 31%, which basically boils down to fundamental issues: upbringing, personality, conditioning, psychological issues, which everybody has. I don't mean deep psychological issues. I mean things that the person has to get over, character flaws. All these are in the 31% of things you are never going to change about your spouse. She's never going to change your 31% either. But now let's discuss that, because this day today the lesson is overcoming gridlock, meaning tackling that 31%. We said, because if you separate the 69 from the 31, your marriage is already better. But even within the 31, we said 2 things. We said, number one, in time, your spouse learns to be better on that 31%. And you learn to tolerate the 31%. So kind of you guys meet in the middle in that 31%. For instance, let's give a very simple example. You don't like to go out. You come home, you don't like to go out. Your wife loves to go out. Or the opposite way around. Husband loves to go out. Wife likes to stay home. Those are things you never. So there's always this perpetual argument. Ooh, let's go on vacation. I want to stay home. Ooh, let's go take a walk. I want to stay home. Ooh, let's go out to dinner tonight. I want to stay home. Could we do a date night? Yeah, I don't know if I'm so in the mood. And there's, oh, you never do anything. You never take me out. You never go any places. You're so not fun. And the other one is, you're always pushing me. Can I just relax? Those are character flaws. You're never going to change. You're never going to turn your spouse into somebody who loves to get up and run and be spontaneous. And you're never going to change, or you're never going to change your spouse into somebody who just wants to stay home and do nothing. However, what is going to happen is, in time, you learn to deal with the fact that your wife doesn't like to go out a lot. And you kind of become more like that. And in time, she learns to go out and venture out and be a little bit more spontaneous. So how do we get our spouse to actually, start to change a little bit? And this is very key. So oftentimes, men especially, we're afraid to tackle issues with our wife because our wives act like wives act. They get defensive, they get angry, they start to attack. You approach a certain subject, there's always that toe that you step on, and all of a sudden you get inundated with a backlash of, well, you, and well, you, well, you. And a lot of it is because of 2 reasons. Number one, because always the first time you bring anything up, there's going to be resistance. There's always going to be resistance. But remember one rule, always: persistence beats resistance 100% of the time. You be calm, you be easy, you be nice, but you be persistent, especially if you're, and you will beat the resistance 100% of the time. Now, let's discuss a little further how we be persistent. A lot of it is, so let me just go back for a second, because I'm just jumping. I just got a call that kind of got me gears on my topic. So one of the reasons why we're afraid to, because we get hit with a backlash. And I said, part of the backlash is because, that's the way wives are. They backlash you because nobody likes to change. That's normal. You do that to her also. The other reason why people get backlash is because they approach it wrong. And this is very key. So oftentimes we approach an argument with, you did, you always, you. Never do that. Never accuse the other person. Never throw it on the other guy. Always make it about you. For instance, let's just take our benign example of the fact that you like to go out or you like to stay home and your wife loves to go out. Instead of saying you always go out, you always make it that I do nothing, you always try to push me to go out and to do things, and you always try to ruin my relaxation. Why can't you just realize that I work a hard day? No, that's all about that person. You just put the other person on the fence. Obviously, they're going to backlash you. But if you change the tone and you make it really what it's about, and really what it's about is your feelings, and just say your feelings, forget about what the other person says. Just say, I feel I need relaxation. And I feel that when I go out of my comfort zone. And that makes me, for lack of a better word, uncomfortable. I feel like every time, my job is so hard that I just come home and I crash. And I feel like when I'm pushed to go outside, I automatically feel like like I'm like I'm not gonna get that relaxation and that sleep that I need, and that I'm being pushed beyond my limits, and that's a very hard and helpless feeling for me to feel. When you make it about you and your feelings, things change. I will say something else about overcoming gridlock. Overcoming gridlock must be with the intent of you compromising. There can't be a scenario where you come and you tell another person, by the way, this is what you have to do for me. Nobody approaches it like that. Nobody goes to a customer and says, you have to give me money. No, he says, listen, I have these great goods I'm going to give you. Do you want to buy them? There's a compromise that goes on. Listen, honey, I would love to go out with you. If you could do me a favor, and this is what maybe Sunday mornings you let me sleep late and not take care of the kids. Boom, that's a negotiation. You gave something, you got something. So we're learning here 3 things so far to overcoming gridlock, which is solving that 31% of the unsolvable perpetual problems that are always there. Number 1, we're learning persistence beats resistance. You be calm, you be easy, you be classy, you be nice, maintain your respect, and eventually the person will come along to you thinking if you're right. Number two, always make it about your feelings, because that's really what it's about. Never make it about what that person did wrong to you, because then you make the person defensive. Number 3, and by the way, this works with all conflict resolution, not only with a wife. Number 3, negotiation. Give something, get something. Negotiate, compromise. Those things are so important. So, and there's also, so in this way we go ahead and we fix the 31% of perpetual, constant arguments. When you do that, when you solve a problem with your wife that seemed before unsolvable, you hit a new level in your relationship. There was a wow, we just worked that out. We really do like each other. You see, we really could get along. Rather than never approaching those subjects, rather than never going near them because you're afraid, tackle those subjects in a calm, classy manner, maintaining your character, always being nice, always being sweet, making it about your feelings, because that's what it's about, and always giving in order to get. Have a great day. 21, overcoming gridlock task. Difficult one, very hard one, but take one perpetual problem, one thing that bothers you that we spoke about, and take that and have a discussion with your wife about how we're going to overcome it. Remember the 3 keys. Number 1, always be classy. Persistence beats resistance. Don't worry about the backlash. You will, in time, by setting a good boundary, have a healthier relationship afterwards. That's number 1. Number 2, always remember, make it about you and your feelings and not about what the other person does wrong. Never make the other person defensive. And number 3, give to get. That is the task of the day. Overcome one gridlock. Get into that 31%.